Hey everyone, welcome back. Boy oh boy, has it been an adventure. Um, so continuing on with this fountain, this was the first time I ever painted or attempted to colorize the inside, and this is the result of an anodized duplicolor metal cast, preceded by a 2-in-1 primer. You could spend all day on YouTube looking at stuff about metal cast. It's actually a phenomenal part, the or spray. The thing that I found out is the primer and the base color really matters, because this is kind of dull, and that's okay. I will show you, I will step through the sequence of applications that I put on, but let me just back up a sec, because my original plan, and I'll flash some pictures up here, was to do an epoxy, right? I talked about epoxy, and so I did the West Systems epoxy application, one pump of each, the resin and the hardener, and then I used an acrylic paint to essentially colorize the epoxy, which I thought at the beginning would turn out okay. The difficulty that I found, and let me just finish that thought. So the pigment really didn't dissolve evenly, and so there was little globs inside of the resin of the pigment of the acrylic. And so the trouble that I didn't realize and appreciate was that this stepped hull, to apply an epoxy coat, you got to keep everything level because it flows. And so the steps really add some difficulty there. Really, in part, what I did was I did the middle as one pour, and then I started to do the side, and this side, it filled up a lot because of the chines and the steps, and it just took it added a lot of weight. So then I went through and I freaking sanded it all out, because it was a pain, and that was a pain. So and then I went back to the drawing board, asked a bunch of veterans in the industry, in the hobby, and they said spray it. So that's what I did, and I think so. Moving on to this application. So what I did, sanded it 220, scuffed everything up, and I applied the primer, real thin layers, real thin coats. I basically followed the canned instructions. So every 10 minutes, I added a very, very light coat of primer. And so I did 3 coats of that. And then it says, this says wait 30 minutes if you are going to do your top coat next. Otherwise, wait, I think, like 7 days. So me being the impatient guy that I am, I waited 30 minutes, and then I applied the metal cast. And so, I'm not, obviously the boat's not showing as shiny as this. I'm hoping I'm going to see that a little bit more once I wait the 7 days, because after my 3 coats of primer, I waited half an hour, and then I did about 3 coats of the color with a 10-minute interval in between. So I got a good foundation. I'm hoping, again, when I go back in a week, that it will start shining through. So stay tuned. This is a a longer effort than I originally anticipated, but I do like this color. Oh, where's my hardware? So as an example, it's not color matched, but it's darn close. So here's the running hardware, the red anodized aluminum. You know, in the right color, it's pretty close. Obviously, you know. So that's not going to be the same, but it is what it is. So stay tuned. Thanks a lot.